Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Today we are talking how to create your own rule book through spirituality, okay? Now, for a lot of people listening, you might understand that the word religion comes from rules, right? Regulare and so forth, to bind something. But actually, when you are more spiritual, you're aligned with something that is way beyond you, okay? And you got to start to put the pieces back where they make the most sense, because a lot of people, they'll be giving you information, a lot of information, but not enough activation, embodiment, realization towards integrating what you actually need to know, okay? So this is what we're going to be doing, is to understand that spiritual people don't necessarily go and tell you what is right and wrong and creating more of a duality split, right? Now, it's okay to be morally sanctimonious. However, at the same time, it's okay to be degenerate. Just don't be harmful to others. Just don't be dependent on others. You get what I'm saying? And I'm getting this information. Watch this little reel of Jay Kaizen. And I was pondering these understandings today. And I understood that I have to love all aspects of my shadow self too. Like, because the thing is, most light workers, they will connect with that harmony, right? A lot of people, they get lopsided, or they go only to the shadow, only to the light, and then they get split. However, it's really key when there's more, let's just say, going on than we realize, right? There's more activation going on than we realize. There's more power going on than we realize. And so, if we love all aspects of our shadow, we know that we are more than just a set of habits and patterns, right? And once we understand we're more, hey there, Samba, what's happening, man? So once we know that we're more than just habits and patterns, then we can actually rewrite the code, right? So spirituality is about creating your own rule book and realizing that the one handed down to you was actually from people who are just as confused as you, if not more controlling than you, okay? So it's time that you stopped outsourcing your own individual power, right? Because that's the thing, when you stop outsourcing your own individual power, what happens is you start sourcing it from within you, right? And when you start sourcing it from within you, then it's like your life becomes another living scripture, right? Every choice becomes a mantra. Every breath becomes a healing or a blessing. Every, mistake, it becomes a mystery school lesson or an initiation, right? Night shift right now, let's go. All right, man. Gotta keep that energy up, huh? All right, so the thing is, you're not here to follow a map. You're here to be the freaking cartographer, right? So there's this story about this guy. He went up to his guru and he was complaining about the world. The world is a horrible place. It's full of misery, it's full of sorrow, it's full of darkness. And then the guru said, okay. And then he went back and he said, but I see love, I source it from everywhere. I go around and I see everybody and there's beauty, there's joy in their eyes. The guru says, okay. You see, he's not looking for a reaction. The ego wants the reaction. He's asking the guru the question, right? And it wants the reaction. And he says to the guru, hey, why don't you correct me if I'm actually wrong, right? Why don't you correct me, right? That's the ego. So, divinity, as we've been led to believe, okay? We've been led to believe that divinity is transactional. Tit for tat, give and take, right? This kind of, it becomes this commercialization and capitalism then. It doesn't become spirituality, guys. Divinity is not a vending machine, right? Where you can just insert enough prayers, just put enough mantras and good behavior into it, and then blessings just fall into your lap. Because that's just still religion. It just looks like spirituality. It's just wrapped in capitalism. So real divinity doesn't want your sacrifices. Real divinity wants your surrender, your faith. So, not out of fear though, right? This is the key. It's not out of fear. It's out of flow. It's out of your life force, your vivacity, the way that you show up. If this isn't about, I'm gonna give up sugar to manifest love. No, that's not what we're saying. Or if I suffer enough, maybe God will finally notice me. Okay, this is kind of like a toxic mentality that a lot of spiritual people have here. And the thing about it to understand is that's your own old slave God program, right? Divinity doesn't keep receipts. Divinity is unconditional, infinite, present. And you don't earn the light. You realize you are the light. So if you imagine this visualization I do of the Makara, okay, this is one of my guides. It's who I call myself as well. My moniker, my avatar, you could say, my Swamurti. And the visualization I do is it's deep peaceful. It's very peaceful. I imagine I'm sat at the very bottom of an ocean and I'm seeing all the aquatic life, right? It's like, but the force field cannot touch me. Like all these sharks and different aquatic creatures, they can't touch me. They can try to, but they can't get into the force field. And this is the visualization that I do. And it creates this stillness, this peace, just beingness, right? I don't start chasing or proving things or trying to become somebody. I start to embody my presence and it gets soaked in that energy of just that divine stillness and unconditional love through my imagination, right? And so that's big wizard energy, okay? So that now you're asking, how do I walk back into the world without the world snatching away my peace? I've gotten this question a lot from people, okay? So after spiritual awakening, after some kind of a realization, you will notice that it's difficult to merge back into the real world, you know? It really is. You feel a little bit dissociated. You feel kind of not really wired into what's going on. You get a little bit isolated, right? So let me tell you something straight. When you drop that old version of you, you actually don't need to put on a new costume. That's the thing. You don't need to become anybody else, but you are working with archetypes and moving towards your best self at the same time. So this is paradoxical. You're in the liminal space, the body, the in-between, because the body is the subconscious, right? So that's the holy ground. And when you say that you're scared to show up around people with your new inner silence, right? I get that. That silence isn't for everybody. That silence is sacred. You want that deep stillness and silence for the special ones, the ones that are close to you. I get it. But let me tell you a little secret. When peace enters you, you don't need to defend it. Okay? There's a lot of motivators out there that's going to charge up your nervous system, but going to help you flatline right afterwards, right? It's like a rise and a drop, rise and a drop. Oh, you can't keep this. Ah, you can't keep that energy all the time, right? Yeah, you gotta right? That's important. But notice that if I'm in peace, my peace is defending me. That is my weapon. You see, I've been trained in the 3D. I've been trained how to perform, how to prove, how to please others. I've trained in all that. Right now it's time to start rebooting because I don't want to escape the world. I want to dance in it without losing myself. And I think a lot of you guys want the same. We're trying to function in this real world with this thing. And you've said it yourself, you know, a lot of you, that you've understood love, that once you've tasted that storm, that the strongest storms can't even shake your anchor. But the mind is still in its glitch, right? The mind is still in its program. It's already caught up in the great awareness. As Ramana Maharshi said, your head is in the tiger's mouth, but this tiger doesn't let go. So walk back into the world, but differently, okay? Engaged, more connected, more not entangled in the world, but deeply involved. And as you play this infinite game, let me tell you a story, okay? There was once this guy who kept ringing the doorbell and trying to get it. So this is the entranceway to peace. And he kept ringing the doorbell. Then he tried knocking, right? Then he tried a battering ram. Then he tried to break the locks. Then he tried to remove the door open. Nothing seemed to be working. It is only when he stopped trying and waited by the door that someone opened it. And this is the thing, we think that I have to get that, and it creates this feeling of longing, that something is missing from you, right? You're always hungry, always hunting, but it's not for truth. You're not hungry for truth. You're hungry for validation. You're hungry to be good enough. Where am I from? I'm from Kolkata, India. And it says, look at me, you know, approve of me, correct me so I can keep pretending I'm the one in control. But here's the cosmic joke of the ego. The ego doesn't want clarity. The ego just wants your confirmation, okay? Trying to create confirmation bias, okay? It asks you, is this the truth? It asks you, does this truth make me feel special? Okay? It doesn't say, is this the truth? It says, is this truth going to make me feel cool enough? So when the master says it's okay, the world is both beautiful and trash, he's not playing mind games with his student, right? He's showing him how to transcend the ego's addiction to polarized identities. So the ego thrives in drama, right? This is why, look at reality shows, man. Oh my goodness. Ellie was sharing some of these with me. Like the whole Mary Povich or the Jerry Springers and all that stuff. Man, that stuff is chaotic. Call me. Hold on. All right, I don't have much time, I guess. I'll redeem it later, Ricky. I'll redeem it later. Okay? The ego gets involved. It needs outcomes. It fights for its point of view. But the soul, the real you, right? It's just engaged, man. It's just playful, right? It's creative. So when you drop that old version of yourself, you're not just killing the ego. You're not hiring it to run the show anymore. That's the thing. You let it sit in the back seat. It's a windows up, you know? No aux cord. While your awareness drives the whip. So this is the way that you have to handle this thing, because it's gonna swing you outside of control, right? It's like you're trying to get on a bull and try to control it like a matador, but you can't do it like that. That's the thing, right? And so once you understand, it's not for you to understand. I don't even know how to pronounce your name. Zitmilasolas, right? What the fuck kind of... Anyway, back to what I was talking about. The ego loves to like fine tune it's gonna look into these critical comments that are coming at me, right? And zoom in and nitpick and be like, oh, I wonder what, yeah, let me feed that, right? Let me feed that monster. Oh yeah, that's making me feel a lot stronger, right? Stomping him out, right? Stomping him out in the fire, okay? It's champed out. Yeah, man, it's the energy. I got a busy day too, so I'm like transmuting this, whatever this is, this energy, right? But yeah, man, I've realized that it's a lot of it is that these voices are hiding in your nervous system, right? It's gonna show up for you and make you feel constricted. That's how you know that it's not bringing you forward, not bringing you towards the life that you truly want to create for yourself. When you feel like it's making you smaller and you're going inwards more, right? So it's making you perceive not what others are doing, what people are saying, it's like it's an immediate return to inwardness. But what a lot of people, they do is they get stuck there in the inwardness. They're not able to merge the inner and the external world. This is what we help you do to really get you fine-tuning this thing, this microcosmic orbit, so that every single day we keep getting better and better and better. All right, guys, I'm gonna tap out. Ellie, it's all good. I'm gonna tap out. You have to keep moderating. Thank you, Samba, for tapping in. All you guys, let's win. Every single day we keep getting better. Man, okay? Let's win, okay? Remember, every boundary you set is a hug for your inner child. Let's go. Upward spiral, gang, gang, gang. Let's win. Let's win. Upward spiral. Let's go.